On the morning of December 2nd, 2011, in the mountain town of Carbondale, Colorado, Steve and Tony Ingram woke up to find their 20-year-old daughter Morgan lying lifeless in her bed. There had been no screams in the night, nor signs of break-in. None of it made sense. The Garfield County coroner's initial report was clear: natural causes. They said Morgan had died in her sleep from a rare genetic disorder, acute intermittent porphyria, a disease known for causing seizures, confusion, and intense abdominal pain. But the thing about it is, she had never been diagnosed with the disease. Her parents pushed back. They pushed hard enough because 8 months later, the official cause of death changed. Suddenly, Morgan's death wasn't being labeled a medical mystery anymore. Now it was ruled an overdose of amitriptyline, a powerful prescription antidepressant. Was it accidental or intentional? But still, there was a problem with this, because Morgan wasn't taking that medication. Her parents immediately pushed back again. They had reason to believe their daughter had actually been murdered, and they believe they know who did it. Morgan was 20 years old at the time, a former ballet dancer, and passionate about photography, animals, and family. And she was sensitive, curious, and according to her parents, full of life. There were no medical issues and no signs of depression. What there was, though, was something darker. A 4-month-long campaign of fear that her parents say culminated in her death, and they say Morgan was being stalked. According to the Ingrams, it started with tapping on the windows at night, then shadows lurking outside the house. Eventually, Morgan began keeping a diary, documenting every strange occurrence, every incident that made her feel hunted. Security cameras were then installed, lights, motion sensors, and even police reports, dozens of them. But according to the family, law enforcement never took it seriously. And Morgan began sleeping with a knife underneath her pillow. As she stopped going out, and her parents said she was terrified, not depressed. And then she was gone. Tony found her daughter that morning. She said Morgan didn't look peaceful, like someone who had drifted off to sleep. She claims there were bruises on her body, blood around her mouth, and signs, she says, of a struggle. But those observations were never formally documented in the autopsy. But there was a toxic dose of that antidepressant in her system. That can't be denied. So where did it come from? Steve and Tony insist Morgan hadn't taken that medication in over a year. They claim it wasn't in the house. Was it secretly administered to her, planted somehow, or had Morgan really taken it herself? Was Morgan suffering from something her parents didn't fully understand? Or had she been slowly unraveled by fear, and by the constant anxiety of being watched, followed, and hunted?